I was a hotshot firefighter with Delaware the Hotshots for 2 years, starting in 2006. These are an elite group of firefighters that are probably the first ones in, last ones out. In 2017, my angel was the first on scene in the Holcomb fire in Big Bear, California. Every time we engage in something like that, I always say in my mind, I say a quick prayer to keep us safe. I grew up in a predominantly Catholic family. Once after I got into the fire department, I started going to church less and less. Felt that my priorities was work. And it got to a point that I was questioning my faith and completely, lost. I was proud to consider myself an atheist, and that was the downfall of my life right there. It was in 2009 or 2010, my wife was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and it's called an acoustic neuroma. It's a tumor under her cerebellum. It needed to get surgery quick. It was the size of a golf ball. And it's like, if you don't do anything now, she will die. I was in shock. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. People that always say, oh, we're praying for you. My sister would always text me like, oh, we're praying for you. And I was like, okay, that's pointless. That's not going to help me out. And it was more and more the closer to the operation date that people were saying this. And I would never forget this. I was at the market, and a lady passed by me, and she said, all the answers are in God. And I told her, excuse me? And she just turned around because all the answers are in God, and she just walked away. Eventually, the day came. The surgery was about 8 or 9 hours. I remember I couldn't do anything. I remember when I came home, I couldn't look at my kids in the eye. The hospital was it's 45 minutes to an hour away from here, so I was going back and forth, just driving there and waiting for their call, and nothing was happening. This happened 8 years ago, and it's still... My wife came out of surgery that afternoon. Doctor came out and told me I was able to see her, and she was just starting to wake up from the anesthesia. I remember sleeping there on the floor right next to her. The following day, I was sitting there next to my wife, and there was a gentleman sitting in the nurse's station in front of us, and I noticed he kept looking at us, and he would look and would speak to the nurse and then look, and he finally got up and came up to us, asked us how long we were married and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, we're not technically married, but we've been together for so long, so it's kind of like we're married. And he asked, why didn't we get married? I'd always tell everybody, I've only planned to get married once, and I want to make it spectacular. And I remember telling me, he goes, isn't it more important to you to actually get married? And I was like, yeah. He identified himself at the Catholic chaplain for that hospital, and he asked if he could say a prayer with us. And I told him, yes, keeping in mind that I still didn't believe in prayer. And he grabbed my wife's hand, and the other hand, he grabbed my hand. The moment he started praying, I felt this electrifying jolt go down my spine. And while he was going on his prayer, I started crying. I couldn't stop it. It was something that was new to me. I didn't understand this. Knowing what I know now is the only thing I can really identify this with was the Holy Spirit. He told us at that point if we wanted to get married, and I was like, yeah. And he told me, what if I can marry you guys here? I joke about it now. We say that we had the world's fastest wedding because we got married through the church and the court within 2 hours. It was then that the priest told me that he only asked for one thing, to get more involved with the church. That's when I was introduced to the Knights of Columbus, and when I saw that not only do they help the church, they help the community, it clicked instantly, like, that's it. But you know what, this is God's will. I started getting really involved with the Knights of Columbus. I've always wanted to give back to my community, and being part of the Knights gave me that opportunity, especially with brothers that share the same values. I didn't become a Knight just to better myself. My membership with the Knights has strengthened the faith of my whole family, especially with my son, and able to do a lot more together as a family, being parts of the Knights. The biggest change in my life, it's seeing everything in a positive light. God answers your prayers before you even know it. Like I said, this is my calling, and this is what I need to do. That sense of accomplishment when I'm able to help the church or able to help the Knights, it's just like putting out a big fire.